Hello, everybody. We launch our third innovation meetup. Our meetup will answer the question: what's a modern, comprehensive approach to secure organization? What methods are more influence to organization sustainability, and what kind of methods could be used in a modern information security? Uh, this event provided by Innovate, supported by Ukrainian Sweden Chamber of Commerce, Open Trade Gate Sweden, Dia Business, and other private companies. Our main goal is to connect experience according different European countries, especially Sweden, Ukraine, and other parts of Europe, and to face the most security, sustainable, and innovative world. Our first speaker is Dima Angelo. It's a Chief Technical Officer of Innovate, and he is a super powerful man who has more than 17 years of experience in cybersecurity, IT infrastructure, and comprehensive software development. In his experience, we also faced a huge knowledge about data centers, about servers, clouds, comprehensive approach for security, information security, and how to build IT product more sustainable. Dmytro also worked with the biggest financial companies in Ukraine, with healthcare organization, and with big enterprise organization. So first presentation is about continuous auditing, the new how methodology that could help to reach more than 95% of assessments, risks assessments. So Dmitro, here's your time. Please provide for us more information about continuous auditing.
Hello, thank you, Mary, for a beautiful introduction. Today, in the introduction about me and about my topic, today I will talk about methodology of continuous auditing of and security assessment for modern organization and prevent more than 95% of risks in security field. It's a little bit about me. Mary already told it. It's not interesting to us at all. It's key principles of overall information security. It's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So it's about property of information to be inaccessible. All of information should be inaccessible or closed for unauthorized persons, entities, and or processes for viewing or for changing. Integrity is about maintaining of the correct and completity of all assets and availability of all processes and assets and services for their clients. And one of main things, it's a total cost of security. It's a cost of losses due to incidents, plus cost of countermeasures of these incidents. And the cost of incidents plus count of countermeasures of these incidents should be much more than cost of prevent countermeasures or for prevent these incidents. For first of all is ensuring information security. It's a cost assessment, development of security policies, implementation of these policies into business processes of organization, and training of qualified specialists, and audit all processes to developed available security policies. First goal of information security assessment, it's determine the value of information assets, where it's located, and measure of value of these entities to the business, identify threats of confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility for those assets, and how much impact can be affected to business when some of these assets will be compromised. Identify existing vulnerability spots in organization activities. Establish organizational risk concerning to informational assets identified on the previous steps. Suggest changes in existing network practices that use its measure of risks or an acceptable level, and provide a basic for checking and appropriate security project design. Main type of assessment what we have, it's evaluation of vulnerable spots at the system level. It's computers, servers, and network equipment. Network level assessment, it's evaluation of the existing computer network and information in moving, where information moves from one service to another service, or from one service to the customer or users who can use this information. General risk assessment within the organization, analysis of the organization information assets and vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities can be identified in information processing location, and research both electronic and physical formats. So it's not only about data storages, online data storages, or servers or systems. It's should include policies and procedures for physical information. It's a printed information or something else, printed document. Audit of the existing policy and compliance to the organization with the policy, and penetration testing of these processes. Penetration testing, it's not only about, it's of course not only about information systems. It's a complex solution for human engineering, because somebody can call to your staff and use social engineering techniques to get some information about your processes, about your systems, services, and so on. And after identifying this information, it can be used to treat your security system. We have two types of information security audits. It's external audit. Audit should be usually a periodic event conducted at the initiative of management or shareholders, and it's external. This external audit can be identified in regulatory documents. And internal audit for it's a continuous activity provided by security team to reduce variability of risks for the management of the company. And of course, both of these type of audits shall be approved by the management, because it's about money and so on. So, first of all, objectives of IT security of risk associated possibility of security threats, assessment of the current security level of information security system, localization of vulnerability spots, evaluation of information security compliance with existing standards in the field of IT security, and developing recommendations for the introduction of new and improving the effectiveness of existing information security processes and mechanisms. It's for data audit analysis, it's first it's a complex basis of the risk analysis. The auditor should, based on the method of risk analysis, define an individual set of security requirements. For example, in Ukraine, we have war risks. It's of course we have a war not only in physical space. It's like bomb, rocket, missiles, and so on. And we have a war in cyber threats. It's Russian hackers try to destroy all Ukrainian infrastructure. So for Ukraine, it's one of main risks. For another locations, it can be another main risks. Such as terrorism, attacks for denial of service. It depends by industry and the location of the company. The second approach is the most practical, relies on international standards, basic of the information security requirements for broad class of information security system. It's totally different between location and regulation between businesses. For example, for financial sector, we have PCI DSS compliance for using card numbers and card transactions. For example, for healthcare sector, in US we have HIPAA compliance and so on. And of course, each countries in each sectors have their own regulations and compliance for that. And the third approach is the most effective suggests combining the first two approach. For risk analysis process, about risk analysis process. First step is identify of key information system resources, determining the importance of this or other resources to the organization. For example, you can have a domain controller with providing authorization services for whole staff, and it's a main system, and you can have some landing pages for some cases, and if some of this landing page not working it's 1 day or half of the day, it's not a main risk for your company. It's not affect whole business processes of your business. And third step, it's identification of existing security threats and vulnerabilities, vulnerabilities enabling threats. And last one, it's a calculation of risk associated with the realization of security threats. Information system resources can be divided into the following categories. It's information resources, software, hardware, it's like a servers, workstation, network equipment, mobile devices, and so on, and human resources. In our practice, it's more than 50% of cyber attacks starts from social engineering. It's about security awareness of your colleagues. About risk, it's probability of threat realization, multiply of probability of threat impact or on asset, and multiply of cost of consequences. Reporting documents. Which reporting documents you will have from auditor? The audit report is the primary result of the audit process. It should contain at least it's a description of the audit objectives, which type of assets which type of business processes we used for audit, which type of services, and so on. Characteristic of the discussed information system with total characteristic of assets, mobile devices, servers, services, systems, and so on. Indication of the audit scope and method what used to the audit, result of the data analysis from the audit, conclusion summarizing these results and providing an assessment of the information system security level or its compliance with standard requirements or government compliance. And auditor, of course, and conclusion of this report should be auditor recommendations for remedying existing deficiencies and improving the security system. How do you think? It's enough? Yes, but not. Today we talk about our build around build methodology, continuous audit. Name it continuous audit. It's real-time risk assessment and optimization. What is it? Continuous audit, it's an auditing method where the security check is evenly distributed, allowing vulnerabilities to be detected and remediated in the shortest possible time from their occurrences. So ideally, we should know about each type of vulnerabilities, what we can what can use in our systems at maximum in 10 minutes after this possibility its occurrence occurred. It's continuous audit includes three type of activities. It's continuous data assurance, continuous control monitoring, and continuous risk monitoring and assessment. More deeply about each field of this. Continuous data assurance checks the integrity of data passing through information system. The main methods of ensuring data integrity automated system during storage include providing fault tolerance, it's drug redundancy, backupping, monitoring of equipment and data, such using RAID arrays. Ensuring the safe recovery. It's a backup, copying and electronic archiving of information for distributed storage environment. So if your data stored only in one data center, it's not enough to totally safe. So your data should be located, your online data should be located in one place, backup data should be located in another data center, ideally in another country. Second one, it's continuous control monitoring that ensures continuous control of resource used by comparing with predetermined key indicators to detect abnormal situation. The most common solution for continuous control monitoring is the establishment of a security operation center, but it's not a cheap approach. So most of companies can use outsourcing, can outsource security operations center or maximize automate of this operations, because establish own SOC, it's very expensive field. Second one, it's regular scanning of IT infrastructure components for vulnerabilities with automatical scanners and penetration testing. And these duties are often assigned to system administrators and technical support. And the third one of third part of the methodology, it's continuous risk monitoring and assessment. With our framework of CRMA, analytics of the results from CCM in the first two type of activities are conducted along with analysis of forecasting of potential losses. And with CRMA, risk management occurs processes of decision making and implementation aimed at reducing the likelihood of indices and minimizing loss. And last type of this CRMA activities, it can be insurance, is often used as a risk management tool. And as a conclusion of my presentation, it's best defense is a constant control and prevention. Thank you for your time. Maybe you have some questions.
Yes, Metro, some questions that we have received from our audience. It was continuous auditing. It's a new methodology, but it's also important to know for which organization it's suitable, because the cost of information is, of course, totally different between small, medium businesses and enterprise companies. But on which stage of digital maturity the company needs to monitor their informational security landscape.
The real world should be for all, as I think, because when you have a small amount of assets, small amount of information, it's easiest to implement right practices to manage this information. And it's most important thing, all security activities, so treat security system should be much more expensive than value of information what can be treated by these activities.
Super. And am I right when we are talking about continuous auditing, we are also mentioning about continuous education about cyber hygiene, information hygiene for internal and external staff?
Of course, cybersecurity awareness, it's a main part of it's a fundamental thing of whole security processes, because if your staff have good paroles, passwords, for example, but this password wrote it on the sticker and put it into their monitor, it's not secure way. So security awareness, it's the most important thing of whole security processes.
Super. And the last question is about general risks that we have nowadays. What's the role of general IT security and continuous monitoring for organization sustainability? Here is the question more about, does the organization need to invest money into sustainability of their own IT infrastructure and in IT security because of a lot of risks of war, conflicts, crisis, etc.?
As I think you should ask yourself, how much will be cost if you all of your operations stopped for maybe 2 weeks or 1 month for rebuild your infrastructure from scratch if it will be destroyed by some hack teams or some ransomware and so on. So you should ask yourself what it will be cheaper. Stop your business for 1 month or invest money into information security. And as I think it's not a question. Hello?
Yeah, super. Thank you, Dmitro, for your lecture. I think that we could finish this part of this event. So
Thank
I
you so
ask
much.
our
Have a
moderator
nice day.
to my screen and to stop presentation of Dmitro. So yes. Also, a small pause to stop also my presentation. So I will ask audience: do you see my screen or not? Super. So let's start. Of course, continuous auditing and general information security is much more important in a question of global trend for digital transformation. Cybersecurity, it's a one must-have thing that your organization needs to support, to implement, and to continue to work with it. But what about general trends that we have nowadays? And also AI. AI, it's a very interesting solution, very interesting trend. Could be a bubble, but also could be like new hands in your businesses, new game changing technology that could also help you to upgrade performance for your business and especially cybersecurity also. So today we will discuss how AI as a tool could influence in your corporate security and policy. My life, it's advisor to time. It could help us to understanding a lot of data that are based in our natural language requests. Also, all artificial intelligence based on the scope of data could react for some data and for some incidents. And in general, that we could see a global trend in with ChatGPT and other natural language models. It's understanding of our needs, our natural language. It's of course it's a part of a big scope of machine learning, but we could also make a decomposition for all AI. It's analyzing big scope of data, requests, understanding requests, react, and to transform into different languages and different needs. So when we are talking about big data and about React, we also understand that AI will automate everything that are very easy and cheap in a modern life. like a lot of monitoring stuff that we could see on the left side will be focused only in one or several person. So really AI will cut a lot of working places, a lot of stuff, because of automate huge numbers of processes. So when we are talking about main tasks for AI, AI could also make a revolution in cybersecurity compliance, but we also need to understand that AI is not only a super pill to protect us from everything, it's also an instrument for threats. So when we are using AI for protection, somebody also used AI like new threats and new attacks. So when we are talking about AI application, we also talking about automated threat detection. AI could continuously monitor network traffic, different information packages, and detect and respond for threats into real time. When we use currently our security operations center, where we could see several to 20 people in one room who are also involved into monitoring, we understand that AI will automate everything, and these 20 people will be cut to 3 or 4. So risk assessment and management. AI assess potential risks and analyze historical data. It's a huge, super powerful and game-changing instrument when we need to identify different patterns and also indicate different vulnerabilities. About protection and privacy. Of course, AI helps to ensure data privacy by automatic data classification, encryption, anonymization, etc. And also AI with algorithms and patterns could also manage access to data for several kinds and sub-kinds of roles and response. Compliance monitoring and reporting. AI tools help us to monitor and to compare our data with security standards. And also AI much more great reports, overuse, and compliance status. So currently we could mention these main 4 tasks for artificial intelligence. About business benefits, it's much more interesting because, yes, we win a lot. We have more quick response. We have more quick reducing. We have a more proactive risk management. I mean, like also mitigation of potential risks. I mean, also proactive measures. Also, organization will reduce a huge costs for human salary, etc. And it's new high-level decision-making, more comprehensive and high-level decision-making solution and response. So AI also will help us to in our strategic planning and policy development. Based on a previous count of data and the previous monitoring and analyzation of staff behavior and staff action in our IT system. But plus, it's a plus, but we also have a minus, and this minus is much more important currently than a pluses. Challenges, we could see this. We could see that minus it's more about challenges, and it's not only depends from our organizational compliance and our organizational risks. First that I want to mention that it's a regulatory compliance. We have a lot of compliance, a lot of laws, a lot of regulation about data computing, about data operations that are not meet AI revolutionary approach. And when we are talking about data computing, we are also talking about not able possibility to be forgotten. So it's also a very big concern currently in our Europe law, USA law, CIS market law, when we don't know what to do. We need to choose one of two. We need to choose what will be better to improve our businesses processes with data and to know more and know everything about our people, staff, and clients, or uh, the the possibility to make a dozen information about yourself and to not provide everything, and it's a base human right for a modern world. So it's a very big concern that we need also to decide in the next few years. The second very interesting moment, it's a hard level of integration with a legacy system of modern technology of AI. It's not a secret that the biggest banks, fintech, e-commerce, and healthcare systems, it's an old code base that was wrote more than 20 and 30 years ago, and currently they are not supported AI methods and AI algorithms in their very big systems, and how to implement it and not to slow down their productivity and all operational works that are depends from this legacy system. It's a very big and interesting question for a whole IT community, because to be more innovative, but to lose productivity nowadays, it's also mentioned that we will lose our position on the market currently. And do we reach them again? Will we reach them again? Nobody knows. About data privacy and security. It's also interesting question about sensitive data, about data protection, because as a previous speaker mentioned that we have no systems that are 100% secure and that protect raw data for 100%. So when we will provide full access to AI for all our data, it will be very risky for all this data and for all our operation. I am not mentioning it like Terminator movie or something like futuristic movie with apocalypse because of robots, but it's also very important for corporate rules, corporate know-hows, and privacy policy according to us. So, of course, AI, it's we could tell that it's a new technology or old technology in a new package, but currently AI also used in modern system, also for security. And here is on this slide, you could see the most popular approach, most popular use case where AI is useful. So first, it's a I'm sorry. First, it's a recognition, behavior analysis. Also, in cybersecurity topics, it's a threat detection and anomaly detection. Also, hello, Security Operations Center. Access control, it's biometrical authentication with faces, with fingerprints, etc., and smart cards. I also have information that one of the most interesting technology for authentication, like new game-changing new approach, it's not fingerprints, not face ID, it will be hand print. Also, and the all blood network on a hand, it's will be like a new technology for high level of security access pro very secure data. So Let's move next. Fraud detection. We are also see that AI in a very start on a very low stage of growing and of maturity used in fintech systems. It's also about financial transaction, insurance claims, fraud, and anomaly detection. Also, endpoint security. Antivirus software, it's also a part of AI, and a behavioral analysis network and host based. So it was about how we use currently. But what will be next? We see that AI grow very fast, and the next stage of AI that we could face currently nowadays, it's also physical security because of a war conflict on a different regions. Currently, we also see like AI used for computing vision and for different military stuff detection in drones and Boston Dynamics with robotics. It's also a very nice example. But physical security, it's the first new new field that will be transformed of AI, and it will really a big revolution for whole world and world sustainability. Next, smart city. Of course, we have contained smart city, especially in Sweden, a lot of data, a lot of video cameras, computer vision, also predicting analysis and different integration. But AI will also upgrade our smart city and IoT devices. And when we will talk about smart cities and about IoT devices, we couldn't forget about IoT security, because IoT security currently it's the most riskful zone in general cybersecurity world. And in IoT security, we will see as AI will detect anomalies and different threats on a hardware level. So next, data privacy and protection. We will see also using AI at data masking and privacy preserving. Next, it's supply chain security. It's also about risks assessment and also supply chain transparency. Because of challenges that we have faced in supply chain and in transportation, we will see as AI will transform threat detection and authentication as user behavior analysis. So it's where we will faced with AI, and if you want to be a game-changing company, organization, and to want to implement new know-how approach for general security and cybersecurity of AI, use this list. So let's move next. All this presentation, it's nothing if we couldn't mention any cases with AI in information security. The first cases, it's about JP Morgan. JP Morgan AI system analyzes transaction data, and it helped to detect unusual patterns and indicate of money laundering. So yes, it's also used previously in fintech sphere, in bank sphere, for example, in CIS market and in USA market. We have faced a lot of such algorithms and system, but it was on a low maturity level of AI, and it was also based on a huge numbers of algorithms. Currently, after a big scope of data and about after a huge analysis of human beings, we will transform this identification, and we also improve a level of laundry detection in a whole fintech organization in next 3-4 years, depends from digital maturity level of fintech organization. Retail case. You also have seen different cases. For example, in a payment point when you scan your goods and trying to pay, and video cameras with computer vision also detect different scams and trying to get some goods in your bag and not to pay for that. Especially I have faced this in Auchan, in Lidl, in Carrefour in Europe. And this system is also work. Of course, a little scope of mistakes is also available, but currently AI will also transform in this case, and I think that the next level of AI maturity in retail will be combined general behavior of person in a grocery, in a shop, and on a payment point. So, but it also depends from a human rights and regulatory that are provided by European Union. Tech company. Of course, when we are talking AI and technical company, we couldn't mention Microsoft. Microsoft provided monitoring, data practices, and AI implementation for data privacy regulation. So currently AI system is also working to with final user of Microsoft and help to automate internal and external compliance of data. When we are talking about compliance, I mean about CCPA and GDPR. So after all these cases, there is a question how to implement AI into your company. We have very short-term presentation, but I hope that we will create much more comprehensive courses about AI. But generally, is nothing without approach. It's nothing without a comprehensive approach. Started from strategy and finalizing with monitoring and evaluation. So when we want to implement AI in our information security processes or in our other business processes that work with data, with data, and very sensitive corporate organizational data, we need to develop a clear strategy. We need to understand and define clear objectives, expects and outcomes of AI implementation. I mean, so when we want to implement any AI systems, we need to understand what we want to receive, what we want to reach, what numbers of productivity we want to face, and also we need to understand all resources. All resources, technical resources, organizational resources, security resources, compliance resources, and of course, hardware resources. So nothing without strategy. The next stage is choosing a right AI tools. Of course, we have natural language processing, machine learning system, big, huge data and analytics. But when we are talking about AI tools, we also need to understand their scalability, flexibility, and further vendor support. Could you support all this AI process? We'll call it this AI process, but by your hands, or you need continuous vendor support. It's also a question about AI strategy and AI approach that I will mention on my next slide. Employee training and awareness. It's one of the most important things that I have faced currently with AI. Of course, AI it's a very interesting technology. It's also help us to automate a lot of work to write a lot of SMM posts to to make a modernization in different data sheets and to correct our documents. But I was really shocked when I have seen that more than 70% of employers couldn't understand that all data that they are uploaded to ChatGPT, it's also available for other people, and it's also not to face with internal compliance about information safety in organization, about information protection. So when we are talking about employee training, we also need to provide for them courses of cyber hygiene, courses of how AI is working, about starting levels, starting lessons about how is machine learning also working. That all their data that they are uploaded for ChatGPT, it will be a part of whole machine data, and your organization could lose your know-how, know-how, and all winning strategies that you have built it on this know-how. And continuous monitoring and evaluation. So when we are talking about AI, I mean, also not about hardware, not about infrastructure. I also mentioned about monitoring of data that we are implemented in our AI, that we are uploaded in our AI. It's about sensitive data. It's about trust, level of maturity, and correct. Our data set is correct. Our data set is faced with other regulation. I mean, also here, she, and other our rules that we are faced in European regulations. So we need to be very careful with data sets, and we will also face in next 3-4 years when our monitoring staff who previously sit in security operations center or who also supported IT infrastructure also will fired, of course, but they will move into data data management, and who will also responsible for correctness of this data. So technical strategy that I have mentioned previously. AI systems, it's not pills, it's also approach. Currently, I also faced with AI, and I have feedback from more than 10 years ago when Microsoft announced the Azure platform with a cloud system. And the first reaction of a market of a huge company was, we don't want to make storage on nobody knows where servers, nobody has support, etc. And all this, currently we faced another. We see that all our IT infrastructure and servers market, data storage market transform. And it's currently compared from three parts: public clouds, private clouds, and hybrid clouds. And my thought is that AI will also will go by the same way. We will have a public AI systems like ChatGPT, like DALI, like other natural language processing systems, and different startups who are working on a fork of them. And we will also see internal AI systems developed by huge companies like AI electronics in game sphere, like Microsoft also, who are also have ChatGPT and other systems, like a fintech organization who are also starting to create their own AI, Google. But all these giants will make these systems public. But the biggest player who are also care about their sensitive data, financial data, and all internal security, they will also build their own private system. And for organization who want to be a more hybrid and who wants to be more mobility, they will mix both option, public and private, and we will see hybrid approach when internal private system will compare with public AI, and it will be a very interesting approach in general software development and data management when we will need to recognize which data we use for any analytics and any decision and any reaction. It's also about a challenge for software architecture, for law staff, and for regulatory. So, but it's really the same like a cloud market in IT sphere. So let's finalize about what we will do with AI in our corporate compliance, in our cybersecurity needs, and general security of our organization. About pluses, it's real cases that AI minimize human factors, reduce costs, and provide automatically monitoring and analytics. It's a very short time interaction for a different threats, and AI, it's a machine. It's an algorithm and machine. It have no human factors, and it's a zero trust principles that are very important for cybersecurity and for comprehensive security for all corporate information. But the minus is that we have AI in both sides. So we have AI for protection and we have AI for threats. And I'm sure that it's much more easy to hack systems that are protected in 100% with AI, with other AI tools, because once AI knows how to think another AI. Second, it's a cost of implementation. About cost, I mean also legacy systems and general digital transformation and organizational transformation to implement this AI, and also operational transformation, counts of different social payments for who will hire it, and different courses for education to help our staff to find new workplaces, etc., teaching, etc. Third, very important thing that we need to decide in our corporate compliance previously, and in a state structure level. Secondly, its ability to be forgotten. We need to understand how to manage these abilities, how to manage these rules. Human rights. I also mentioned it about ability to be forgotten, and human rights like gender, decision makes, algorithm, etc. And legacy system integrations that I also mentioned. So compare what you could receive with AI, compare what the solution you need, and what the final result you will receive after all AI implementation. And to find the best strategy of AI implementation for your organization. So I have finished. We have received a few questions about AI in cybersecurity. First of them, who need to implement AI into business processes, especially in cybersecurity processes. As I see, and as we speak with our previous speaker, the biggest trouble it's compare your value and your costs that you need to invest in to AI implementation. So if you are small business, you could use different public sources and public tools like ChatGPT and other, and it will be very nice for you. You will automate a lot of things, especially in your operational works, in client negotiation, etc. But when you are a middle-sized businesses with a turnover more than 5 million euros, 10 million euros, I think you have a lot of sensitive information that you don't want to share with other competitors. So could you also implement AI in this stage of your general maturity level of your organization? I think yes. Why? Because you are not so huge and you are not small. You have resources and you are not so who couldn't transform your business processes. And implementation of AI into security, information security, it could be like your winning strategy for your budget for long term. About big companies who have more than 100 million turnover, or more than several thousand of staff. Of course, for you, implement AI into security processes is also important because you have a lot of human factors. But how to implement AI solution, what the strategy will be more suitable for you, you need to decide and to map with external experts, because currently AI is a very nice words, very nice solution, but we have a lot of noise around it, and who are definitely implemented it on a business processes. There are not a lot of people who really knows how to implement it and what's the benefits and what are the risks and challenges you will face. For example, a lot of people currently are trying to implement AI in different healthcare systems. It's not a secret, but they faced with a regulatory when all healthcare systems that have decision making and reaction based on AI algorithms, it's detected like a device, like a medical device. And there is totally different way for licensing and to operate on a market and to receive all documents that you need to launch your sales and to launch your businesses in Europe market, for example. So the next question was the most interesting questions that we have received. AI in does AI help hackers to compromise our data? Yes, it helps. Yes, it helps, and I also faced with a lot of deep fakes and how people couldn't recognize deep fakes and real content. And currently, I also see that AI with a huge speed of transformation and improvement of picture quality, video quality, etc. AI really provides for us so realistic materials that we couldn't understand is it true or not true. And with this AI implementation into threats, we will faced with a big gap between people's knowledges and human factor and real information. So with new kind of threats based of AI, we need to focus about people, about our staff, about our clients, and to help them to recognize trust from a buzz, real information from a scam, etc. So, and the third question that we have faced, it's about how we could educate people or with in cybersecurity, information and security with AI approach. Definitely, AI couldn't educate people. AI only repeat our knowledges. So all examples and all new house we need to provide by ourselves. So be in a loop, stay in touch, and implemented AI, not to forget about information security and cybersecurity. Finished our third Innovate webinar and see you on our next event. Thank you for all participants and thank you for all